guys, welcome to Production with Jolly on Jolly TV. It's your girl Jolly. How are you all doing? Yeah. Well, is this your first time coming across this channel? Please consider subscribing. Look at that red button that says subscribe and subscribe. Then look at the bell notification and click that so that each time I upload a video, you will be the first to be notified. Well, have you ever wondered, you see some ladies, very, when I mean very beautiful ladies with good careers, and they are yet, to be married. Well, today I want to take a look at the causes of late marriage using the ladies as my case study. I want to find out what standard have you set for yourself as a lady. Some ladies, they are they have these very unrealistic standards that they set for themselves. They want a man that is very tall. They want a man with a good career. They want a man that is God-fearing. They want a humble husband. They want, their list goes on and on and on. And to be honest, deep down in their spirit, they know that it is very unrealistic, that their standard is very unrealistic. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a high standard, for yourself. Every lady wants, a man that is good, a man that is God-fearing, a man, the list is that long. But there's this saying that no man is perfect. Even yourself, you're not perfect. So why would you want to set a standard that that realistically it is not realizable? Why don't you try to lower your standard? There's nothing wrong, in you try to get, the best man. You want to get, all that good quality in a man. But sometimes it's very unrealistic to get all that quality in just one man. There's this saying that, nobody is perfect. So try and lower your standard just a little bit. Because if you look at yourself as a lady, you ain't got all that yourself. You're not all that. If not, you will still not be, single. So let's, a little bit. I'm not saying, bring yourself to the lowest, but at least, look at it a little bit and reduce it. That's just all I'm saying. Then secondly, I want, as a lady, you need to look at yourself, your hygiene. How do you take care of yourself? How is your appearance? How is your cleanliness? How do you, like the word we say, package yourself? Good hygiene is good for every lady. It's good for you, to come out, appear neat. We are not saying you have to come out with the most expensive things in the world. We are not saying you have to come out with the most, come out with designer stuff. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that whatever you come out with, whatever you put on, should be very neat. Is it a good hair? You make your hair, you make it very neat. You smell good. So some ladies, once they talk to you, it's like, oh my God, what is going on? Or once they open up their, the other pit, it's like, oh my God, what is going on under there? So you need to take your personal hygiene very, well, very good. You need to look your best at all time. And there's some ladies, yes, let me not forget, you see them when they are in the midst of people, when they're out in the group, they dress so good, they look neat. But when you meet them at home, it's like another story. They are totally different person you met outside. You should be neat. You should be at your best all time. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to look expensive all the time. Just look neat. That's just all it takes. Then let's look at, your character. How do you behave in the midst of people? What will people say about you? Because, your character speaks a lot. Sometimes, marriage is based on recommendation. People recommend, oh, she's good. Because where I come from, if you are to get married, there's this background check that is, being made. They go to ask, how do these people behave? How do this lady behave? How is her family background? So character is, you know, it plays a lot in your life. How do you behave in the midst of people? How do you react to people? And how do you tackle issues? So your character should be on point. You should be, you know, people should be able to speak well of you. And when, you know, your suitor meets you, you know, the first time, what is the reaction? Are you, you know, the one that is so rude? Are you so rude? Are you so difficult for people to speak to? Is it difficult for you to even smile? There's some ladies, you see them, they are, you know, they're okay, they are very beautiful, but the simple things like smiling, you can see it on their faces. They're all the time, you know, they look mean, they look like the world is against them, or they're against the world, you know. Sometimes your character speaks a lot. For me, I judge people based, you know, on their attitude, their character. That's what I judge people, not because of what I'm being told. Is what I see in them that I judge their, you know what they look like. So for me, character comes to play a lot. So try and work on your character. Try to be that person that is nice. Try to be that person that speaks to people with, you know, respect. Try to be that humble person, you know, not pretending, because it has to come from deep down. Let people know that this person is a very down to earth person. You need another point that I would like to talk about is, you know, some ladies are so, let me use the word cheap. Yeah, they are cheap to get. You know, they don't play the hard to get. They are, every Tom, Dick and Harry can speak to them and they respond. They are quick to everything. They are quick to open up. They are quick to, you know, says. They are quick to, they just don't have the word no in their book. They are quick, a little bit of it, you know. Some men, they prefer ladies that are, you know, hard to get. They don't want, you know, the quick, I love you, yes I love you, let's go, we go, let's bedroom, yeah, in the bedroom. Some men don't. So you should be a little bit, you know, hard to, a little bit classy a little bit classy to get, a little bit, you know, stressful for the guy to get. Don't be too cheap. Don't be too, you know, don't look desperate. For me, I will consider that being desperate. You know, you're like desperate to get married. So you are like yes to everything. Play a little bit of hard to get. That's just all it takes to talk about as a lady. What are you? Are you a liability or you an asset? You need to define, you know, who you are, because most men now, to be honest with you, they're not ready to settle with any liability. What are you doing if you want to get into marriage? Like I always say, you need to, you know, prepare yourself for marriage, because marriage is a serious business. It's not something you just want to go test and come out. It's not something you just want to feel what it looks like and come out. You need to prepare yourself. You need to prepare yourself mentally. You need to prepare yourself spiritually. You need to prepare yourself academically. You need to prepare yourself financially. You should be prepared to get into a marriage with something to offer. You must have something to offer. When I mean something to offer, you shouldn't be just that beautiful lady, you know, good looking, dresses well, and that is it. That's all you can offer. Then you should bring something to the table. What are you bringing to the table? Most men don't want a liability. You can be very beautiful. You can be all that fly. But most men want to marry a lady who they are sure that when they are down, they will be able to, you know, carry the family. They will be able to contribute. They will be able to at least put something on the table, maybe feed for a period of time before the guy is able to, you know, get on his feet. So you shouldn't come, you know, you shouldn't be a liability, because no man want a liability. No man want to marry you as a liability, especially in the world we are living in, especially like Africa, you know, you don't want to sit and become the oracle, you know. Be prepared, be ready to contribute, be ready, you know, to support, so that if a man sees that you are hardworking, if a man sees that this person is an asset, of course, no man want to reject an asset. So you need, you know, to keep yourself in a position whereby when your suitor comes, they will like, oh, this is my wife and this is the person I want to, you know, really settle. One major causes of late marriage for me is, you know, long courtship. I am not an advocate of long courtship, because I see a lot of ladies, they're in a particular relationship for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. Some even go as far as 10 years. So for me, I kind of ask, what are you guys waiting? What is the problem? What are you trying to put together for so long? 8, 5, 6, 10 years is too long for, as a lady, you shouldn't be in a relationship that long, because we have time limits. All ladies have time limit. By the time you are like 23, you are young. 25, you are young. 28 is like the bell is ringing, get married. 30 was like, okay, you gotta get out now. By the time you get to like 35, is like, okay, time up. 40 is gone. So we have time limit. You shouldn't be in a relationship for a very long time. If a man loves you, you should be able to, figure it out within 2-3 years to know if this person is suitable enough for me. It's not necessary. Sometimes even the marriage is not compulsory that they must have so much money for them to be able to get married. It's a union, so both of you should come together and build yourself. So for me, staying in a relationship for a very long time, most of the time it doesn't work. And when it doesn't work, it falls back to you as a lady, because you are the one that have lost your time. You have lost so many years. You have lost a lot of things. And apart from it, has stigma. It has stigma. If you stay in a relationship for like 8 years and you are out, and people know that you have been dating such a so person for that long, and the person leaves you to marry another person, it has stigma. People like, okay, maybe she's not good. Maybe that's why the man left her for another person. So for me, 2 years, 3 years, it should be okay for him to decide whether he wants to be with you or not. If it's not going to work, it's good you come out, and, make yourself available, so that somebody does not occupy your whole lifetime for, for a selfish reason. And as a lady who wants to, get married, what kind of friends do you have? What kind of social gathering do you mix up with? What kind of friends around you? What kind of friends do you surround yourself with? If you want to if you want to make yourself available, you want people to know that you're ready to be married off, you should set yourself with friends that when they say birds of the same feather all flock together. So if you meet, have good friends. Go to weddings, meet social gatherings with decent people, so that, because if you are found in the midst of decent lady, the possibility of you getting married or being the next online is very high. Unlike mixing up with ladies that I don't want to say they are no good, but ladies who are still very much into clubbing, into a whole lot of, they are not just ready to settle down. So if you want to get married, you should cut yourself off from such gathering and place yourself where the possibility of you getting married will be very high. Forget to talk about his family background. What is your family background like? Are you from a family where everybody is unmarried? Are you from a background where if a man is directed to go and get married there, he will be discouraged to go into that family to marry. And I also like to look at the spiritual aspect of it. There's some families, the ladies there don't get married. There's some families, it's spiritual. So you need to learn to pray. That's what I'm going to say on that. Learn to pray. Learn to be a little bit spiritual. Talk to your God. Tell God what you want. And if you're from a family background where the ladies don't get married, then it's from the early stage. It's good for you to start praying from an early age. For me, I started praying for my husband at a very young age, because I was a child without I didn't get to know my father very well, because he died while I was young. So I wanted that father figure. I started praying for my husband for a very young age, so that at the time when I'm ready, the person will be readily available for me. So I would say, if you're from a family, if your family background is not that all that perfect, I would say start at an early age to pray. Start at an early stage to to speak good words to your life, so that you don't follow suit like every other person. Then if you're also from a family, because I've noticed that if you're from a family where the first girl gets married, before you know it, the others follow suit. Because when I got married, every other person in a family of 8 girls, all the other ones follow suit. They all got married because there was this foundation. Then I will not forget to talk about curse. Some ladies are under a curse, yes, but it's the reality. We need to talk about it. If you're a lady, at your young age, you've been going out with married men. You've been a little bit, mischievous in your attitude. You've been, what a home breaker. Don't think there's a thing called nemesis. When it gets to your turn, definitely you're gonna it delays your time. The spiritual, there's, you can run away from it. You can't date a married man. You can't be mischievous, following sugar daddy here and there, and hoping that when you're ready to get married, there'll be a man readily for you. Of course, you're going to pay for your sin. I'm sorry, but we just have to say it the way it is. That is the way it is. If you've wasted your time, rejecting suitors, rejecting, capable men that would have married you, because while you are going out with, married men, sugar daddies, they are, if you check very well, you will know that at that point, there are young men, suitable men that would have been coming around, trying to, get to know you, trying to marry you, but you were rejected because of the, physical things of the earth, things that, material stuff. You rejected them. Now you have, lost your chance of getting married early. So if you indulge in such things, I would advise, please, it's not the way. If you not the way, because they say what goes around turns around. So your turn will come too, when you have to pay for all your. Well, this is your girl Jolie on Jolie TV. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe. That is all I have to say tonight. But above everything I say, there's nothing impossible with prayer. There's nothing impossible with prayer. So keep praying, don't lose hope. No, I've seen ladies they got married at 45, some 40, even above 50, and they still got married. So don't lose hope. Pray and pray, then wait on God to give you your own husband, because you don't have to rush. Because if you rush into a wrong marriage, you're definitely going to rush out of it, and that is it. If you are lucky, you're rushing out alive. So stay blessed until I see you in my next production with Jolie. Like I always say, au revoir.